I came across this article and it really made me stop. So AI bot traffic surged 300%, hitting publishers hardest, right? I actually helped resolve a bot traffic situation, and that resulted in savings for the impacted website, right? So the thing is, when the more bots try to visit your website and send requests to your server and consume your content, this is an overhead on your business. This is a cost you're paying, and you're not getting anything in exchange, right? You're not getting anything in return. The article here says AI fetcher bots siphon traffic and revenue from publishers, delivering real time answers that bypass your site and cut referral visits. So, publishers are facing now an additional issue. So, first, we've been talking about how AI overviews and LLMs are eating up some of the traffic that should be going to the publishers, right? They are consuming your content and serving it to users, and they're not sending you anything. So that's a problem. But now those bots are also accessing your website and costing you even more overhead because they're either trying to get your content for training or for grounding user queries in real time. So it's a lot for publishers, right? And when you look at your website and look at your server log files and see that there is a spike of that amount of AI bot traffic, this is a real problem. So you're losing revenue, you're missing out on revenue, and they're also costing you a lot. I don't see this as a sustainable way for publishers. How are publishers supposed to survive in this ecosystem? It seems like no one is thinking of publishers. OpenAI, Claude, Google. There were some initiatives by Microsoft and Bing. They're launching some type of marketplace where publishers get paid for licensing their content. Bing has been saying that they are trying, or their goal is to try to keep sending traffic to websites, but the big players in this area, we're not seeing any of those initiatives or any of these discussions brought up altogether. Page views are declining and costs are rising, right? Because scraping bots increase infrastructure costs by consuming server and CDN resources without generating revenue. So, what are publishers doing right now to deal with this? So, first of all, publishers and a lot of even e commerce and so on, other types of businesses are starting to focus on their server log files and analyzing the bot traffic. Server log files are very, very important for you to know what bots are coming to your website, how often are they coming to your website, which pages are they scraping, and so on. So this is very important. And then second thing is publishers are also blocking those bots. Not all publishers, but a lot of publishers are. And then last but not least, publishers are doing licensing deals. They are putting up paywalls for their content. And I think these are actually great initiatives. All publishers should be considering all of these things right now. Additionally, publishers, in my opinion, should be also focused on features like preferred sources and trying to push it for their audience because this gives them visibility. Also, try to build a strong connection with their audience in a way that people type their brand name in the bar, in the browser bar, and go directly to the website, right? So, according to Akamai's report, these bots are not just a security nuance, they represent a profound business challenge that threatens the sustainability of quality journalism in an age dominated by zero click searches and AI generated content. Right on the money. I agree with this 100%. The publishing industry today faces an existential crisis. Many readers and visitors still value trustworthy reporting and original content, yet instead of clicking through search results, users now turn to AI-driven platforms like ChatGPT and Gemini for instant answers and summaries. So there's this new approach as well that's emerging, pay per crawl, and I really think this would also be a great initiative. The goal is to turn scraping into a measurable, monetizable transaction instead of uncontrolled extraction. So this was a report that analyzed the Akamai bot management data from July to December last year. And the key takeaways from this is that real-time data harvesting by AI fetchers devalues content faster than traditional training bots. So the idea that AI bots can use your content to provide real-time answers right now is a bigger issue than just using it for training data. And then uncontrolled web scraping inflicts heavy technical and financial burdens on publishing infrastructure. The lack of proper attribution in AI generated responses erodes brand authority and audience trust. Blanket blocking of AI bots can inadvertently stifle future monetization and growth opportunities. I guess a lot of publishers don't want to miss out. So, should we block all those scrapers, all those AI scrapers, because they are using our content and we're not getting any value out of this? Or should we let them scrape our content? Hopefully, they will cite us and we are still getting visibility in front of our audience. They still see our brand name, they still see us mentioned and maybe linked to. So they don't forget about us. So it's a trade off. And then emerging trust and commerce layers transform unauthorized scraping into sustainable revenue stream. So by integrating identity verification tools like Know Your Agent, publishers can validate the intent of every bot and enforce a pay-per-use economic model. I really think this is great. I am pro any model that will compensate publishers. Yeah. So all in all, I guess this just reiterates what we've been saying over and over. Publishers are facing a very tight spot. And I hope someone steps in and finds a model or starts actually pushing for a reasonable model or a reasonable way. This ecosystem still operates on the idea that publishers provide value in exchange for traffic, right? Also, I like that they have add us as preferred source on Google. If you are a publisher, definitely implement this. It's very valuable. That's that. Hope you found this useful and see you next video. Bye.